Right. World Sevens Football. Now, this is a new tournament I came across last year, and looking at the description of it, it's like a tournament they entice to get the new generation involved. And when I see such tournaments that say things like, oh, we're doing this to engage a new audience, to engage a new generation, I think to myself, yeah, this is dead on arrival. Like, honestly, and yeah, that's my thoughts about World Sevens football so far. Why World Sevens football anyway? I mean, like I just said, this whole selling to a new generation thing, I just don't get it because it sounds like as though the younger generation are getting bored of the 11-a-side game. Like, I understand the younger generation view content differently to an older generation, such as myself, but can the younger generation no longer watch football for 90 minutes? I don't know. What is the point in World Sevens football? Well, like Rugby X, for those of you who watched it back in 2019, World Sevens football serves to bring something different to football, something that's never been seen before on such a stage. Like, have we seen seven-a-side football before? Like, on such a stage? I mean, I haven't, but if you have, then I guess you're one of a few lucky ones to have seen seven-side football on a professional stage. Not that I have though, but anyway. Another thing I noticed about this new World Sevens football tournament is that teams only get 1 point for a win. And I just think to myself that I understand that they want to do something different, but only 1 point for a win. That's just nah. I think for me, what if I were head of that tournament, I would have put it like an Emirates Cup style scoring system where teams get 3 points for a win, as is usually the case, and then they get another point for each goal scored. So, for instance, a team that wins 3-0 could get 6 points, like 3 for win plus another point for each goal scored. That's what I would have done. 1 point for win just doesn't make much sense to me. Another thing that came to mind is the fact that there's no men's tournament. Why isn't there a men's tournament? I mean, if we're going by the patterns of these new tournaments created, each time there's a men's version of something, a woman's version is also brought out, or vice versa. But why hasn't it been the case here? I mean, is it to give women's football their own stage rather than to sharing a stage with a men's tournament? Because if that's the case, I find that really interesting. It's like saying that women's football can go it alone rather than needing men to support them. I think that's really interesting that there isn't a men's equivalent of World Sevens football. But I'd like to know your thoughts on that. Should there be a men's equivalent? Shouldn't there be? All right, couple more questions. Will World Sevens football be a success or failure? Well, looking at the first tournament was a relative success, but the second tournament, which is yet to kick off, well, at the time of recording, it is anyway. And I think to myself, will this be a success or failure? Like, I'm looking at the teams scheduled to play in this second edition of a tournament, and it's just teams from the Women's Super League. And I think to myself, what happened to the format of last year that saw teams from across the world partake? Does this show that World Sevens football is already struggling as a product? And if so, what's the future of it? One more thing, why play so soon after the season? That's something I really can't get my head around. Now, I understand that the window that it's played in is played just before a women's tournament in an odd numbered year. So they've got to play it in this window, like after the season, but before a major tournament. But I think this tournament comes a bit too soon. Like, couldn't this have been played in, like, say, July, August, after a major tournament? So it acts as a pre-season tournament rather than a post-season tournament. I don't know, but overall, what are your thoughts on this new World Sevens football tournament? Like, will it be a success or will it be a failure?